Hello and welcome back to Foundry. In our last episode, we expanded the making of machinery parts. I don't know why I can't remember that. Machinery parts. And then we headed down here to the mine to start setting up some new processes for Ignium. And we did that because of the fact that the steel is going to require quite a bit of Ignium. And we also are going to need it for making the Ignium Fuel Rods. And instead of expanding the drilling we were already doing at the original mine, we decided just to move down here and just kind of start over. And so we took a look at a few of the things, including the crushing recipe to convert the Ignium Ore rubble into Ignium Ore. That is a 5-to-2 process. And we looked at also then how much ore we would want to have going up the lift, which is 320. If you do the math on a 5-to-2 process, where 320 is the output, that means you need to have a 800. I've already forgotten the math. 320, 2.5, 800 rubble coming in. I just operated under the assumption that the rail mining depot would produce a large amount, in fact. But in fact, it doesn't. It only produces whatever the rail miner can produce, which happens to be, in this case, 150 items per minute max. And I like how that's maximum items per minute, which means that it might not, depending on maybe certain situations. So doing the math on that, though, that means that we need to have 6 rail miners to get 800 items per minute. But then I thought about it a little bit longer. And if I do 5, that's 750, which if you divide that by 5 and multiply it by 2, you get 300. Now, when we were doing the math on, let's put down a crusher for just a moment here. We were doing the math on no, not the crusher, I'm sorry, the smelter, the induction smelter, which I don't think I have any. I do not have any. Let's make one. Now, of course, I'm out of stuff. Great. When we're doing the math on the induction smelter, thank you. And the recipe for xenoferrite steel, we found that this was a 4-to-2 ratio. But we also decided we weren't going to bother bringing up any more than 320 once we are using the xenoferrite iron lifts that are going to go here, we're not going to bother bringing up any more than 320. But it uses 60 per minute. But instead of, so we thought about having 5 or maybe 6 of these making the steel ingots. But if we just do 5, that's 300. Which means we need half of that in Ignium, or 150, which leaves us, if we only use 300 Ignium instead of 320, that leaves us still with 150 to make the fuel rods. And that means, I believe the ratio was one Ignium ore becomes 5 of these, so it's 1 Ignium ore to 5 enriched Ignium pellets and then so 5 Ignium ore makes 1 Ignium fuel rod. So that means that we could do 150 divided by 5 or 30 Ignium fuel rods per minute. And I think that's probably fine. That's probably more than enough. So we're going to proceed with this, at least for now, assuming that we only take 300 up the lift. We talked about perhaps later adding another lift on over here, maybe, to have a second lift of some amount, but that would be after we already had the lifts carrying up, their maximum amount and upgrading the lifts to level. Is it just a 2 or is there a 3? There's a 3. Level 3, which can carry 1,280 items per minute. So we have a bit of time before we actually max out one lift. And given all of that, I think we're fine with 300. So I think we're fine with 5 rail miners, which means we're fine with 5 rail mining depots. Notice I have 4 of each. The 5th one is the one currently in use. We'll bring that down here later. And that means that we can handle this with one lift. Now, that doesn't help what I had built here, which is why I've torn it all apart. So we need to do a little bit of planning, and I've done a little bit of this on my own, but I want to redo it just to talk you all through it, and then we can hook up, hopefully, Ignium mining today. So, first of all, we need to be able to bring back down here rails, because we need to keep supplying the rail miners with rails. So we're going to have a lift here that brings the, a loader here that brings the rails back down the lift and out into the, out into the world here. And then we want to have a second lane loader, and this will be where we load in the ore. And the reason for that is, well, first of all, this is an output. But the reason for that is just to make sure that I don't have any conflicts with these two here. So given that, we need to have a belt that comes, say, through here that has on it 300 of the 320 limit of Ignium Ore. And that needs to be put on belts coming out of crushers. Crushers are here. And I'm just going to put these in a row. And I think we'll do... Actually, we could do even something a little bit different / better here. Let's plan on these being in a row of some kind like this. I'm just going to put a few of them down because we're probably going to tweak this a little bit over time. I could do actually 2 of these loaders just for my own whatever sanity here. And then have these machines loading onto... I have to redo this a little bit because of where these are positioned, but this is just temporary anyway. Have these loading onto this belt like that. All of them, all 8 of them. And then we would have a... wait, it's still 8? 300 divided by... I guess I could have... Divided by 40 is 7.5. Yeah, so it's still 8 of these. And 3 of these, because they consume 100, that's 300. So 3 of these will eat the supply from 2 of these. So we need to also put up, and I have those, by the way, in this box, just because the 4 of them stack by themselves. So that means that I can't really have them in my inventory. I have too much stuff otherwise. So we're going to put up one of these rail mining depots. Or more than one of them, but for now, just one of them. And I want to put it somewhere, maybe here. That could be fine. Oh, and I put up lights too, just so we had a little bit of light here. And I even put lights, this is kind of fun. I even put lights here on the edges of the foundation as it currently stands. Those probably won't stay, but they're kind of fun because you can see what's out here a little bit better. So if this is here... And that means I can move these folks down a little bit too. Maybe I don't want it that far, but maybe I do. If that's there, then I need to have... this is 4. I need to have 4 more of these, so that's 16 more. Which, do I have room for 16 more? Oh yeah, just barely, but yeah. That would work then. We're going to have a belt, or an intake here, rather. Taking in the rails coming down from here. So they'll come out like this somehow. And then they'll loop in and down through a row of these rail miners. Pretend there's one here. I'm going to skip that spot for right now. And we'll go right here. This is where the next one will be. And the reason I'm skipping this spot is because I'm sandwiching these together. And I have to be able to access this panel, I think. At least to get them kickstarted. To feed the miner in, so I'm skipping each every other one just so that I can make sure to get this set up right. So if we do this, then we'll have an output from these 2. Remember, pretend there's one right here. We'll have to have an output from these 2. Let's go. Maybe we'll go here, and then let's go here, which means that I need to move these over a little bit. Let's see. That means that this one would actually go here. Because its loader will have to go... Oh no, it doesn't go there. I lied. It needs to go... Okay, I'm off by 1 space here. It needs... all this stuff needs to get moved back. Move back by 1. That's also why I didn't put too much of this down. Got to think it out. Okay, so instead of it going, let's do X here so I can place it properly, I think. It needs to be put... Almost. It's a little weird to put this stuff on a floating spot. I think that's correct. Nope, I'm off by 1, but do I want to worry about that? I better. So I'm hoping for maybe a little bit better placeability here. Maybe I should delete this too. But I think actually that'll work right there, but I need to go out by 1. Nope. Nope. There. And then these gotta get replaced as well. Okay, this will be input. X again. Oh, someone told me in the comments, I think it was, if you right-click, you can choose default, which is auto-select, setting them all for input, setting them all for output thing. For this, it's fine to be default, because I'm going to have to toggle them. I'm doing kind of a mixed mode thing, but if you're placing them all down for the same functionality, you might want to try the right-click method to keep yourself a little bit more sane. And then let's do this here. Like this, which means that now I can put in one of these. I can just do Control-C on that and put this in. Here, yeah, that's where it goes. And I think then I need to delete this one because I don't want it reaching past this point anyway. Otherwise... it'll be impeding on the next one's functionality kind of thing. But I could nudge one of these over if I wanted to. I don't know that I really care, though. Why don't I just leave it there? It's 1 in from the edge of this one. They're all 3 together, and then it's 1 in from the edge of this one, which means that the next one would go somewhere like right there for the next set of 3. And I think this will work. We need to have... actually, maybe even... maybe this will work right. This one needs to have both. And I'll explain that in just a moment. And then this one here goes there. Is this going to work out okay? You'll go... here. And then we'll have to also have a loader for the for the rails for this one, for the one that's not here. And I think that'll work. And so the reason for having 2 on this one is, if you recall, each one of these is going to produce 150 per minute. This one's going to consume 100, so there'll be 50 left over. This one's going to consume 100, so there'll be 50 left over. So we want to have 2 separate belts here, and these can actually be Mark 1 belts because they are... because they're only 150, and these are max 160. So that can go like this, and we can even have a Mark 1 belt for the mining rails, I assume, as well, to poke through there like that. And I think this will work. It may be crazy, but I think it will work. And then here we have the 2 loaders for the same reason. This one will be an output. We need to rearrange something here. Let's take out... oops, not what I wanted. Let's take out this one and this one and put back in these like this. Ooh, will this work? This will work if I do this and this and then here. And this is another crazy idea time type of thing. But I think this will work out okay. The reason being, this... alright, you are a loader going here. You are a loader going here. So this belt is going to actually supply or pull from the 3 in this next set, the 2 in the last set, plus this one will all come onto this belt and get pulled into here. These 2 will get put onto this belt, a different belt here, and I can make these actually mark 1 as well, and we'll get pulled into there. And then finally, I'll have to put the rail mining tracks going this way, and then we'll figure out where they're going to go from there. And that's fine to be mark 1. I need to put a mark 2 belt in underneath here. Get down in there to that point. And these should be butted up against each other, and they are. So I think this will work. I hope it will work. We need to turn some of this on. We also need to put some power poles in here. I did make some. I think I'm just going to put them here in the 4th spot. Oh, I have this one already blocking out the 4th spot. Well, then let's change this loader here to be over here someplace. Even always in the 1st spot should be fine. That way I can put the power poles all in the 4th spot. If I can press the right keys here. 4. And then this needs to move out 1, of course. Turn off snap. And it goes here. Goes here. I might need to go get some supplies. Then we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. And now I need to go get my my 2 rail miners. And they'll also need some rails. I'll give them a few rails to get started with after I set up my 2 intro rails. And I reach the button. I can't reach the button. I'm going to have to take these out then. Let's do Control Z and on down to there. 25 by 1 by 1. There we go. That way I can put a floor in here. Hopefully, let's not go that far out. Let's just start here and come through. I'm out of stuff. Dang it. Okay, I'm going to pause and go down, or up, rather, to the main floor, gather some materials, and be right back. And we're back. Yeah, I got a few things. Hopefully I got enough. Let's poke over here and put down this floor again. That way I can have at least a little bit easier chance of targeting some of these things. We're just going to go out to this point here for now. Actually go out maybe 1 or 2 more. And come out this way a bit from as well. Now I have to come over here to get back up. Ooh, I actually blocked myself in. Let's drill out. Oh, I can't. I don't have any room. That's not good. Smart. Let's go this way then. There we go. So we want to put in, let's see, manage inventory. Put in one of these, obviously. And we probably just want to put in, oh, I need to build the tracks first. So let's build some tracks. Make sure I line the arrows up correctly here and here. Let's go over here too, while I'm here. I need to keep a few of these, although I guess I could just go upstairs and get some more. That's going to hit the wall pretty quickly. That's going to hit the wall pretty quickly. I did blast out more of this cavern, by the way, if you're wondering. This one needs to have this. Let's just give them each, like, maybe 3 to start with, and then launch the rail miner. Hopefully that works. So I don't have a bunch of rubble again. Oops, jump too far. Too far. You go too far. Oops, not what I wanted. Also not what I wanted. Okay, and launch. I hear the one drilling. That's good. Ah, we have rubble. But did I build this? Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. No. You're an intake. take all this stuff off of here now, of course. There we go. Just going to dump it into one of these. The one I have configured, probably. Alright, so that's already working. I can see it. We need to configure these. We can also use our tablet for this. Q, let's do control right, control left, control left. And then this one I think is in the, yeah, it's in the correct spot, so we'll go there. And then we'll need to also do a control C on these. Oh, there we go. Here and here. And then we'll go a couple of spaces. I think we'll have 2 more over here. And then we'll do control left, control left, control left, control left. Let's get rid of the tablet. Okay, so this is the belt, oops, coming through. It has the machine parts, or has the rail parts on it. I don't know where we'll stop it exactly, but there-ish. We need to put this one in. We can do that now because we have... Oh, I can copy this, I think. Can I go to the tablet again and do... No, I can't. I'm gonna have to pull this one out. I have to do these one at a time. Okay, recall rail miner. It's gonna do a little bit of processing to make sure all these little rail carts get pushed through. I need to unload this thing. I need to configure it a little bit more, or do a little more work here to unload it. We need to do all of these to have the right spacing here. And then you guys will be 3 and 3, I think. Maybe more. This will eventually be an output. These are all inputs. This is input. This is input. This is going to go there. And then there'll be another one over here somewhere. Just not going to put it there yet. This should be picking up now. It is. Good. Get that unloaded. These should be outputting onto this belt. They are. We need to do the same for you. There's no weirdness with this because of where they're at. In terms of... I'm going to wait on those. In terms of the conflicting issues, let's do this and go into there. I fell again. Alright, back up we go. Come on. You can do it. I built the platform over this shaft at the level we're at, so that's how far we fell. It's not a short distance. We're at block height 90, and I just fell down to 0, basically. So... Elevator go up. At least I have some explosives still. I made a bunch. Ridiculous amount, really. Ah, here we are. Welcome back. And this should be an output. This should be an output. 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 And these, of course, have backed up their belt because this lift is backed up, I guess. I hope. I assume. Because we don't have anywhere to taking that out just yet. We're going to do that shortly. Hopefully shortly. This is done, so I need to take this up. And then I need to put one of these in right here. First. No grid connection. Right, I need to set power to. Connect it to power. Manage inventory. You need a miner, and we'll give you the aforementioned 3 rails. No tracks connected. Right, I have to make some. Or I have to place some. There and there. Launch. So that should take care of the first set here. So we should have 300 rubble per minute coming out, in theory. Getting put onto 2 Mark 1 belts, one coming from there through here, one coming from here through there, and getting loaded into these 2, or these 3 rather, crushers, and then those 3 crushers getting put onto an output belt. And then we just need to keep doing this. Times 4 for now. We won't set the 5th one up just now. I'll wait till I tear down the old build, and then we'll bring that 5th one down here. We're not going to need it right away anyway. So you'll go there. You need power, of course. And you need... oh, you need a rail miner. I only have 3 of these left, so I need to go get some more or make some more. I don't know if I even have this. Oh, I can make. So get a rail miner, or both of them, out. I can actually even take this down now. I had it in my inventory, so I just used it. And like I said, I paved this over, so we have that space for something. Also, it's what's keep me falling, which we saw how well that worked out. You're good to go. That's 3 of them. Let's do a bit more here. Am I going to be able to make this fit properly? Yeah, I'll be able to make this fit. Okay. So let's do another one of these. Wait, are you not going? Oh, I need the rail miner in here first. Good thing I didn't set the next one up. Launch, please. Oops. And that should get going. I should have made sure that the other ones were working properly, but I guess they are. The only problem with this type of build is that you can't see the screen. And that's the flaw with the screens on in this game, by the way. I guess I can tell from here. Can I see stuff moving? Yes, I can on both the first 2 tracks. That's good. And then you should be going now, which means I should see stuff moving here too, and I do. Alright, and then finally we can get this one going. Let's see, you need power, of course. And then we're going to need to do rails here. So yeah, I guess I'm not totally sold on the screen, just for that particular reason. Hopefully we can get some other way of controlling machines without using the screens. That'd be a nice addition. But I think it's okay if not, also. Because it's kind of an edge case to not need it anyway. Alright, and that one should get going as well. Oh, I have 2 Ignium Ore rubble for some bizarre reason here. It's going, and I just want to make sure that it is outputting a little cart here. There it comes. There it is. Okay, good. I saw that I had some Ignium Ore in my inventory, so I'm going to drop that off. Okay, so now we need to do another one of these. We also need to have... I'm going to set these to input just to make sure that they do their thing. And we'll go here. Now, let's see. You need to go way over here somewhere. That should be fine. And then I'm going to do input again on this one. We can just go right there. That should work. That should work just fine. So I've put all the all the rails on the first slot of the machine, and then the outputs toggle between the 2nd and 3rd, I guess, depending on things. That's working. This one will come out to here eventually. That's fine. So you should be getting a supply of rubble. You are. And then we'll just set up this 5th one once we have the stuff for it. Okay. You're good. You're good. I think we're good here. I hope we're good here. Just thinking through things, hoping that I have... Indeed. I'm glad this is working. It seems to be working correctly. I have no way of really knowing because I can't see all the screens, but I'm assuming that these little carts are going to keep providing steady supply and a sufficient supply at or near 150 per minute. Could potentially do 6 just so we have a little bit of a wiggle room buffer here. But we could always do that, add that on later too. These have all backed up, which isn't surprising. So the last thing we have to do here is connect up this belt, which I'm going to do. I guess I need to move this power pole, or light pole rather. Just put it here, I guess. It will bump against things. It will conflict with things, so you have to be careful where to put power poles too. I think we can just go this way. And, oh no, we can't. I lied. I think we have to go this way, because we're going into here. Yeah, so we have to come out by one more. And there. And then I'll just send those down once I have them. This will be an output, of course. Should reset that back to default mode, I think. This will be an output, of course, so it'll be outputting the rails once we send them down. All right, so we have that. We need to go up to the surface now, I think. And we can take out the ignium, pass half of it, 160 or, you know, a tier 1 belt, to its lift that goes up to the steel floor. And then we'll take another one out and pass it out of the building here to go wherever we're going to go to make the next piece, which is those fuel rods. And I think it's going to end up going like along these bus runs or something for now, because we need to tie it in with technum and steel beams and more technum to make it. So I think I'm going to make it. Well, I could set it up here. This might be a better place to do it anyway. The only problem with that is getting a little tight here for this. But on the other hand, this lift is going to come out eventually. So I think it could be okay. We do have a little bit more space here. And if I want to put it into this proper spot over there, I could always take it up and over. So we'll do this. I may rearrange these belts once we have more stuff going on. But let's go ahead and set up a build here on this level, or maybe not, because I'd have to drill out all this to do it at the same height. And of course I wanted it at the same height. Well, we can get rid of that, that's for sure. It's in the way anyway. We could reuse this pad, but this is going to be actually a fairly large build. Let's use this pad to plan out this build. How about that? For this science, we're going to need 1 fuel rod every 7.5 character seconds, which isn't the correct amount for the assembler for the actual thing. It's 3 times that long, but we'll use 1 every 7.5 as our guide here. This is going to need, and actually let's put down, or let's make some assemblers to mark this out. Even though this isn't where the science is going to get made. 1 every 7.5 for you. This way I can, oh, I put it out too far. Of course. Of course I did. Let's start way over here, actually. 1 every 7.5 for you. Just so we can see, and that's 2 per minute. It's a little more than 2 per minute. If you actually do the math on it, it's actually almost 3 per minute. But there's rounding here, and I don't know if you can actually change in the settings. Gameplay, probably like show decimals. No, that'd be an interesting thing to add. And then the next piece is the fuel rod itself. We need to have, this produces 1, it doesn't say how often, which is going to be a little bit rough to do the math on if it doesn't say here how often. Oh, here it is, 7.5 seconds. So 1 to 1. Wait a minute. This says it produces 8 per minute. Oh, that's the assembler time. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see what it is. Let's go in here and reset the task for a moment. If we mouse over this, it tells me that it takes, oh, it tells me it takes 30, oh, so it's 4x. I thought it was 3x for some reason. It tells me it takes 30 seconds in an assembler one. So that means that we are getting, we are indeed getting 2 per minute, or needing 2 per minute, which means we are indeed making 8 per minute here. Okay, that's good. I like that idea. And then the next piece is, actually we're going to fork here a little bit. We need to have the fuel rod casings, also made in assembler. Let's put that down over here. And that'll be done here. And this makes 1 every 15 seconds. So this is going to need to have 8 per minute. And this is going to produce 8 per minute. So that's kind of perfect. Wait a minute. This needs 1 every 7.5 assembler seconds. Which is 8 per minute. And this said, was I looking at my inventory again? This produces 1 every 15 seconds. Oh, 2 every 15 seconds. I see, it's a double. Okay, never mind, Wally. All right, so this is still 1-to-1. That's really good, because that makes my life easier. The next piece is a crusher. Actually, the next 2 pieces are both crushers. So let's make a couple of crushers. And we'll do this here, and I'm going to put this one next to it over there. And this is the pellets. The pellets will make 30 per minute. That is 5 every 10 seconds. 5 times 6 is 30, so 30 per minute. This needs to have 200 per minute. So that means that we would need to have, assuming that it's correct, it's 100% accurate here. Let's double check. 25 every 7.5. 25, 60 divided by 7.5 is 8 times 25 is indeed 200. Okay, so this needs 200. This makes 30. So we're going to need to have, if we're going to run this full tilt, we would need to have 7 of these. And I think this is a 1-to-1 shot here. 30 per minute, 30 per minute, yes. So we would need to have 7 of each of these. This is 6 per minute. We have 150 that we can take. 6 times 7 is only 42. So we could triple this build and still not use that half of a lift of uranium, or of ignium. Yeah, uranium, Molly. So I think we should do it. We need to have, as I said, 7. We need 6 times 7, 42 technum rods. That's no problem either. So, So we need 7 of each of these to feed 1, 1, and 1. This is going to be 8 steel beams. That's no problem. We're going to expand that shortly. 8 advanced machinery parts might be a problem. I haven't spreadsheeted this because we're also going to need them here for this science. I don't remember how many we made. How many we are making, I should say. We're making 40 per minute. So exactly half of them are going to be consumed directly by science, and then 8 per minute more will be consumed by this, which means it will have 12 per minute more for buffer and other things down the road. All right, I think I like this idea, but that means that this is going to be a rather large area, unless, no, because it's so expansive that I don't really want to do this over here, because I don't want to do part of it here and part of it elsewhere. It's got to get all the way down here to the fuel rods before we put it on the bus, I think. So I think what we'll do is we'll take the ignium belt, we'll take a marker, tier 1 belt along this way, and we'll plug it into a build that we do over there, kind of somewhere in the corner maybe. We'll see when we get over there. Let's take these out. And you as well, please. And we're going to have to build a few more crushers. And by a few, I mean a dozen. Where should I put this, though? That's the big question. We need to have technum, beams, the ignium, These advanced parts, I'm hesitant to put it on this side of the bus because I don't know how much other stuff we're going to put on the bus. We could just take it all the way down there. These are going to come out eventually from here. We could reconfigure that slightly to have more room. Let's see. The other option would be to do the steel build now and do this on this platform where this all is. But I don't know that that's a great idea either. Although feeding the ignium rods into the combustion generators is I think a good idea. These have a 200 megajoule fuel value, and one ignium ore has 20 megajoule, so it's 10x the power. For one becomes 5. Yeah, doubles the fuel value for all those extra steps. Whether that's worth it or not, I'd have to do the math on it, because the crushers consume 75 kilowatts, which is 75... wait a minute. Kilojoules per second. And the assemblers consume 50 kilowatts, which is 50 kilojoules per second. So 14 of these plus 2 of these is, let's just say 15 of these. 10 times 75 is 750 plus half that. 375. Let's call it 10, 1100 maybe or so. Rounding down a little bit for that. So that's 1.1 megajoules per second that these are consuming. And these are going to produce 10 times that. 10 times the value. So it's worth it. It's worth it. All right, good. Complexity, yes, but worth it, yes. So let's go with... Oof. Maybe we should just do this. Let's just rebuild the steel. That's a sad thing, because I wanted to do this Ignium Fuel Rod, but with this being here and kind of in the way, especially this lift being in the way, I think it makes sense to do this first. And so I think what we'll do is we're going to end this episode here. We did what I wanted to accomplish, which was getting that mine set up and getting this plan done. And instead, we'll turn a little bit here. We'll go out into the wilderness out here to do some more mining, I think, instead of crowding into this mine some more, because I'm guessing we're getting a little bit low on the mine here. Guessing. Maybe. Might have to move some of the miners around, too. They might have to get pushed forward a little. They may not have the full reach they need to have there. But move them around a little bit, maybe to pick this up, to keep picking this up. And this can keep feeding in to make the xenoferrite plates. But we'll need some more xenoferrite, and we can use that from out in one of these spots. We should be able to do this, and it should tell us how big it is. 9 by 4 by 13. This one is 11 by 5 by 9. Still, I think. So this is quite a bit deeper. I think it's the third coordinate, but maybe not. No, I think the middle coordinate is the depth. So it's about the same depth, but it's quite a bit, or it's a little bit bigger. But it is here at the surface, both of these are. So we'll go out there, we'll mine that. Maybe I'll have done that off camera. And we'll have a belt of ore coming back here, plugging into the second lift here. And then we can get those things brought up to the third floor, which I will also hopefully have started. And we can set up the smelters that we need to make the steel we want to make. Whatever it takes to consume 320 and, well, sorry, 300, which is 5 of these. So that's actually not very many. 300 and 150. That will set up 5 of these induction smelters. And then we'll set up however many of the constructors or the assemblers we need here to make whatever, to consume all those ingots. So, which is going to be a lot. 150, be 8 of these. It's not that a lot, but 8 of these set up, and then we'll have the steel beams coming out of there, and they'll be able to run down here, and we'll be able to take this lift out. And that'll be a good plant, and then we can set up this xenoferrite. So, this Ignium Fuel Rods. So, thank you all for joining me for this, I think, bit of progress on this episode, but also bit of discussion and a little bit of waffling. And we'll see you all next time, where we can actually work on some of those next things. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.